Fertility. Now GZ is having a divorce. IVF, the in-laws. If you're a Muslim and you want to get married to a Christian. Bushfallers, eh? Hey, if you know someone that's been deceived by a bushfaller, raise your hand. In this video, I will share 20 to 25, I think actually 26 to be specific, pieces of advice to my young women. If I do the 26 points and the video is too long, I'm going to split the video. Let's get straight into this video. In today's video, I want to focus specifically on relationships. We all are the same. I totally relate because a lot of you out there don't have elder sisters to talk to advise you about some of these things. The reason I relate is because I am the only girl in my family, so I get you, trust me. Here on the screen, you're gonna find the chapters that I will talk about. Feel free to skip to any part of the video that you feel like it relates to your personal situation, to your personal life. Engagement, signing in court, finding the partner, when to involve the family, and a lot of juicy stuff. So please stick to the end so you don't miss any of those points that are healthy and beneficial for all of us. The first thing I want to bring to the table, bushfallers, eh? Hey, if you know someone that's been deceived by a bushfaller, raise your hand. Some of them are not good. Now raise your hand if you know someone that's been fooled, deceived, misused, disrespected by a bushfaller. Watch out for bushfallers who come back home. Some will even go and pay a judge to go fake sign a document with you so they can use you and travel back and promise you that they'll come and get married to you. Be careful, especially when bushfallers come back home and they are interested in you. Some of them may or may not have known you before. Some of them usually stalk before they come, so they know a little bit about you, but you don't know about them. Don't just rush and sign papers to travel abroad. Abroad is not what you think. Get to know their family. If you can stalk their profiles online, stalk them, okay? If possible, even connect with the people they are following on Facebook, the people they've listed as their families and friends, and see, because a lot of these fallers already have women. They are married and they're just trying to fool you. Beware of bushfallers coming to promise you to give you papers so you can travel out of Nigeria, okay? Or travel out of Cameroon. There are the good, genuine ones who are not going to rush you, who are going to try to get to know you and then do things the right, perfect way. But be careful. Don't be too excited about abroad that you sell yourself for life to someone and open yourself up to a long time of abuse just for the purpose of having a passport and traveling abroad. Oh my God, this one is gonna turn tables. Ask about beliefs, okay? This one is no joke. Please take this seriously. This has to do with religion, cultural differences, beliefs, and mindsets. We all grow from different places, different cultures, religions, ancestors, environments, countries, cities, villages, and wherever we grew up with our neighbors, families and friends, church, school, community, all these were different. So we've been influenced by a lot of those things, and those things mold people into who they are, what they believe in. That said, marriage is hard enough. No, let me not even go in there. Siblings who grew up in the same family fight all the time. A mother fights with a child that came out from their own tummy. What more of two people with two completely different backgrounds? So it's hard enough even for two people who grew up as neighbors getting married for them to try to find a compromise and live in a happy marriage. It's already hard enough for that. So it gets way more complicated when the relationship is multi-directional. Whether it's the religion that is different, culture that is different, it gets even more complicated when there are multiple factors that are different. So before you get married, make sure that you talk to your partner. If you're a Muslim and you want to get married to a Christian, that is a serious conversation to have. Are you okay with everyone going to their own church? Or must both of us go to the Muslim church, to the Baptist church, to the Jehovah's Witnesses church? Have that conversation from the beginning. The women always leave what they are doing, abandon everything in their lives and switch over but the men, they don't give up. You don't want a situation where later on in life, someone will tell you, well, I didn't ask you to change your culture. I didn't ask you to stop eating Indian food and only eat my Chinese food, okay? Talk to them and find out if they are open about getting to learn. Have an open mindset about who you are, your own interest, what you believe in. To the people who do this, like, it's not fair to the other person. People get married and they think that they are perfect. People do things for people they love. People sacrifice parts of their life for the people that they love, but sometimes you will not get the same in return. The fact that you're Chinese and you got married to an Indian and you've stopped cooking Chinese food in your house because you know that your partner actually loves Indian food, that's not gonna make them love you anymore or less. So you need to have that conversation and be sure that in your home you are both open to having either both ways or one way or whatever you decide on. So you have that knowledge going into it. If you think that Christianity is a no-no for you, why even go to the Christian religion? I don't know how to put this, whatever, to pick a partner. If you know that Jehovah Witness is a no-no for you, you don't like Jehovah Witnesses, you don't like their beliefs, you don't like anything about them, why would you choose to go and pick a partner in that environment, knowing that their value from that organization or church or religious entity, knowing that you hate all of that? So know what you want. If you're a Christian and you only want a Christian who goes to your specific church, please look for someone who goes to your specific church. If you're a Chinese and you can only do well in a home with only a Chinese person, don't be out here looking for Indian babes to disturb their hearts. I say this because very often you will change your situation for this person and later on they will disrespect you and that entire culture, and that can be really demeaning, okay? Look for partners who have an open mindset and don't have the mindset that only what they know or do or have been doing for the rest of their lives is the way out or is the perfect way. At this point, if you're finding value in the video, it will be a good time for you to subscribe for free by clicking on the subscribe button, okay? It's free to subscribe. Now, let's turn tables with this one. Let's talk about gender roles in marriage. When you are going after your relationships, make sure you understand with your partner what their mindset about gender roles is. Nowadays, the men want to be the princesses and make the women the men, and there's also women. What I know, and that's what I've always preached on this channel, is that if you are in this world made by God in his own image, man or male, you have a heart pumping just like mine, brain like mine, everything like mine, there's no way you can tell me I am not equal to you. I will always be the fighter for women's rights. I personally believe that two people come to become one and they support each other where the other is lacking, balance up each other and do what is best for the family. Who really wants to be the smaller person in any room? No human being in their rightful mind will want to lower themselves for any reason. So discuss that with your partner so that when you marry, there is no fight. I like to be a partner to somebody because I believe that I'm valuable. I have information. If you have a question, I want to help you figure it out and not just be considered the one who knows nothing. Meanwhile, the other one makes all the decisions around here. And even though that may be cute at the beginning, after 10 years, you start to lose a lot of confidence living in an environment where you are not utilizing your full capacity, where the things you cannot do now because you are a woman. The things that you can say, you cannot say them now because you are a woman and you're married. Those things can break you down. So I urge you, I encourage you to ask the question about gender roles. When someone says, I would like for both of us to be in a relationship, ask them openly, what is your mindset about gender roles? Do you believe that someone is more superior than the other? You may be lied to, but later on, if the action is not matching the words, you will have a good conscience because you would know that you were lied to. It's as simple as that, and then you can use the information that you have at the time to do what you need to do with it. Okay, the next thing to talk about is solo dates. You have to normalize, and I want you to start this now, being able to be in your own company and be happy about it. It's okay to have friends, like good ones around you. It's better to enjoy your own company than be in a company of people and feel alone, or be treated badly, or be bullied, or be disrespected. I really do love solo dates. I will dress up, look cute, and be out there at a good restaurant eating my ribs and my fries and drinking a very nice mimosa or whatever, alone, by myself. And I do love that because sometimes I'll just go through like my content, look for inspiration, and just have a moment with myself, just have time to reflect and just look around. And sometimes you just meet people there and have the best conversations ever. Normalize being able to stay in your home alone and have a peace of mind. All right, so the next advice is that not everyone is cut out to be a mother or father. For you men watching, not everyone who even wants to be a mother is going to be a mother. Life is not as straightforward. You are not less of a person if you choose that kids are not your thing. And you are not more important because you have 20 kids in the world. No one gets an extra chicken for either not having kids or for having 2 or only 1 kid versus 10 kids. In fact, nobody cares. If you care, that's it, and we're off your matter. If you don't care about kids, off your matter. You need to determine this because a lot of people don't want kids, and here they are hooking up with people who want kids. And now, after you've signed a contract, the other person is now forcing you to have kids. I know of Jenny Mai. She's very popular. You can Google her if you don't know her. She was married before and she absolutely never wanted to have children. She got divorced because she never wanted to have a child, and she got married Jeezy, and they have a beautiful child now. So she changed her mind. Now Jeezy is having a divorce. I don't know their situation, I don't know them. It is just an example of a scenario that may have happened. Let's just say Jeezy convinced Jenny Mai to now have a child, and of course Jenny Mai loves her man and she had one and she loves her baby. They love their child, and now Jeezy is like, I don't want you anymore. It can be devastating. Even though she loves a child, make sure you are certain about where you stand about the kids situation, and don't forget that kids can be adopted. Kids can always be adopted. Always have that in your mind. Now, whether you have 2 children and you wanted 3, you can always adopt a 3rd, or you didn't want children from you can always adopt children. So tell your partner upfront what it is that you want in regards to kids. Let's talk a little bit about fertility issues, okay? A lot of women, more than we think or know, do have fertility issues. It is sad because sometimes they come from the men and we get blamed for it. If you're in that situation where you can't figure it out, the 2 of you should go to the hospital and find out what is wrong so that you are not being blamed by the in-laws. Sometimes it may be you and sometimes it may be your partner. That is the first thing. Another thing to know is that even though we have a clock biologically, other things aside, career, finances, and all of that, generally the earlier you give birth, the better for the body. But there are people that are younger and still have fertility issues. Although as you get older, you have higher chances of having fertility issues. That's it. The peak period for fertility is not when you are 20 years old. It's in your late 20s. That's why you can choose to have more time before you decide to start having kids in your late 20s compared to your early 20s. That's the other thing. Another thing is that even though as you grow older, the body changes and your chances of having healthy pregnancies reduces, that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. People do have kids after 40. Some do have after 50 naturally. So you may still be good. Nobody knows, nobody is God. That aside, some of the people that are already 50, they are still having children, but it doesn't mean that they don't have issues. A lot of them have issues, but they just have extra resources that we don't have or that we can't afford to have babies at that later stage with the issues that they have that we too have. There are options like adopt a child. You can adopt a child at 50 if you can't give birth. IVF processes that charge a lot of money, but they can help you to conceive later in life. So the only thing at that stage may be the resources, the finances. If you have the money, you will still be able to conceive at a later stage. And also there is the option of the surrogate. IVF is when they collect the eggs from the woman, collect the sperm from the man, and either fertilize the egg in a petri dish and put the fertilized embryo into the woman, or they just collect the man's sperm and put it into the female artificially. And there is the surrogate where either of these is done, but instead of putting in the egg into your body or the sperm in your body, this is put into another woman's body who is more fertile or maybe younger, whatever criteria. So those options are available. You may not be able to afford them because of finances. If you have the resources, you may not need to panic. If you're over 40, 45 or 50, you can explore these options. No guarantee that you're going to conceive. God gives children and you never know, but it's good to know the information. Guys, this has been a long video with a lot of challenges, battery dying, card reader getting full multiple times, but I really do hope that you learned something, even if it was just one thing from this video. If you did, please share with a sister. Share what you think about any of those points in the comment section below. Our younger sisters are down here looking for help, men, and life is hard, okay? The only reason we are here is to learn and make sure that our hearts are safe as we grow. It's not to fight anyone's beliefs or opinions about anything, because at the end, to each their own. Thank you all so very much for clicking on this video today. I will leave you here, but please click on the screen on the videos and watch these other videos because they are equally amazing. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss my next video. Happy to have met you, and I hope to see you again and get to know all of you. Thank you, and see you back here soon.